It's a big pleasure to have you here today. Today I have an interview with some questions related with you and your career and others related obviously with your new solo album. So for starting, the first question is, how did you discover the world of metal and how did your path develop until you joined Cannibal Corpse?
Well, basically, metal-wise, musically, when it comes to metal, it was Black Sabbath, pretty much was the first band, and then, of course, Saxon, Accept, and Judas Priest, and Iron Maiden, and, then, of course, Slayer, Possessed, Celtic Frost, Voivod, all the different bands, the thrash era, Forbidden and Testament. And then, of course, it was getting heavier and heavier, and that's when bands like Creator, they're kind of the bridge to like thrash and death metal, Obituary, Deicide, all those things, Cannibal Corpse, of course, too. So I just, when I was listening to metal, the heavier and faster it was, the more I wanted to hear it. So that's pretty much how it just went. I just, basically from the beginning heard Black Sabbath, and then just everything got heavier, faster, crazier vocals,
Yes. Perfect. And how was it and how long did the writing and recording process of this album last?
For the Corpsegrinder record?
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't that long because the record was already done. I recorded the vocals not too long after we did Violence Unimagined. It was probably a month to 2 months, maybe somewhere around then, maybe more, maybe. And then Jamie had already had the music. It was just I had to wait until after I was finished the Cannibal record, the last Cannibal.
For this album, you worked with Jamie Shasta from Headbrick and Eric Rutan. How do you feel working with them, and what do you think of Jamie as a producer?
It's been great. Jamie came to me with the idea of doing a solo record. So yeah, Nick Belmore, he recorded it. They recorded the music beforehand. Jamie approached me about doing a solo record, to which I was like, yeah, of course. And then when we decided, I said to him, I want to record the vocals down here in Florida, and I want to use Eric Rutan to record them. And that's basically how the process, came about. He had already been, he had, after I had done They Want Your Soul, on Jamie's second solo record, a few months later, he approached me and said, hey, let's do a solo record, or what do you think about it? Of course, I was like, okay, great. And then he went about the process of, writing the songs and recording with Nick Belmore. And then they sent us the song. And then in that process, I told him I wanted to work with Eric. They sent us the songs, and the rest is history, I guess. And Nick's brother, Charlie Belmore, played bass and guitar, as well as Nick playing drums on the record.
How do you deal today with censorship in lyrics and covers?
Well, I don't know if we've had too much censorship. I mean, I know the last time we played in Europe and Germany, there were some songs that they wouldn't allow us to play. In general, it's kind of calmed down from the way it used to be back in the day. But, it depends on the country. If they tell you can't play a certain song, those are their laws, they're not ours. And we just try to abide by what they want us to do. There's no reason to fight it, because some of the times this stuff happens, it's in the middle of a tour. We get to the club and that day they say, you can't play this song. What are we supposed to do? Go to court, right? Right there. The process doesn't work that way. So we just deal with whatever comes to us in the time it comes, and hopefully we can get it all worked out. And just, we just want to play music. We don't really think that, the covers are pretty brutal. The lyrics are pretty brutal, but it's all horror movie stuff. None of it's like there's no agenda behind it. Just, we're just singing about horror movies, or singing horror stories, if you will. I don't even think any of our lyrics are about any particular movie. Maybe there's some inspiration somewhere underneath, but in general, it's just, they're just from a love of horror movies.
Okay. And did you have any bad experience at a concert or tour?
I mean, we've had some things happen here and there. We've had, shows stopped in the middle. We've had, had to stop playing, told we couldn't play certain songs before the show, like literally right before the show. We've had shows canceled right before we were about to play them. We've pretty much seen it all. Nothing majorly, bad has happened, but, it's really just disheartening when you can't play a show when they tell you, well, no, because of politics or whatever, you guys can't play today. And we've had a few times where we were about to go on stage and we've been told, no, show's over.
What do you think about the death metal scene today? Do you listen to the new death metal bands?
Yeah, I mean, it's been harder to listen to stuff lately, just with this new album coming out, the solo record coming out, and Cannibal Corpse, we're getting ready to go on tour next month. There's not been a lot of room. I know that Aeon released a record a while ago, and that's pretty goddamn awesome. You know, we're about to tour with Revocation and White Chapel. Actually, I think this Friday I'm supposed to go. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm supposed to go see Obituary. You know, so
yes.
And obviously they're not like a newer band, but you know, they're still incredible. So, I mean, yeah, of course I listen to a lot of stuff, and I just haven't had time to listen to a lot of music because I've been signing CD booklets and signing Christmas cards and 8x10s and just getting prepared for this album to come out. And now, you know, we're going to start practicing for this tour with Cannibal Corpse, you know, next month. So it's been a busy interviews, you know, it's been a busy day. A few months rather, not day. It's not just one day. It's been the last, you know, 5 months or so have just been a lot of stuff going on, trying to get this album out and get it, you know, get prepared for this tour.
What do you consider your best work in Cannibal Corpse, and with which one were you not completely satisfied?
I can't say I was not satisfied with any of them. I think there's something good in every one. There are some that I think are better than others. And this is just coming from the vocals. I mean, I don't know. It depends on which record. If I listen back to the records, then I would, you know, the Kill album, I'm extremely happy with, you know, Bloodthirst, Gore Obsessed. I would say there's something good for me in every one. I've never thought about one record that I thought was not my best. I think there were ones that I maybe did more high screams on or you know, lower vocals on possibly. But I think in general, I'm pleased with all the things I've done in Cannibal. I can't say I could never pick one record out and say this is my worst one. I'm not going to do that.
Okay, perfect. After having done so many collaborations, is there any other artist or band with whom you would like to do a musical collaboration in the future?
Well, I could name pretty much every band that I ever grew up listening to. I would do something with anyone. I mean, you know, I did the song with Dee Snider on his last record, Leave a Scar. And I mean, I was amazed that it came out the way it did. Not because of him. I just wasn't sure how a death metal voice was going to sound next to, you know, like a just true heavy metal, old school heavy metal voice. And, you know, he's a legend too. And I grew up listening to Twisted Sister. I would do anything after I was listening to that song. I recorded it with Eric Rutan, and we were sitting back going, wow, man, this is your voice with Dee Snider. And it works. It sounded good, you know, at least to us, you know what I mean? And the reaction was great. So I would say a lot of other people enjoyed it. And so after that happened, I was like, well, if anyone wanted to do something, I would at least be interested in listening, you know? I mean, you know, like, look, I don't really want to say any names just because I don't want to put anybody on the spot. Like they have to get me to sing with them, you know, but there's a lot of people that would be a dream come true singing with Dee Snider being one that I've already done. So, I mean, there's millions of, not millions, I guess, but there's tons of bands that I could just, you know, say, hey, I would sing with. Well, there's a few bands that have asked me to do things and I just wasn't able to get to the studio and do it. So.
How do you keep your voice so good after so many years of career? Do you do some kind of warm-up or some kind of vocal training?
No vocal training. The only vocal training I had was me in my room when I was a kid, you know, screaming and yelling over records. I don't really do any warm-ups. If we go on stage, we hold the feedback and I might just do a couple of growls like, you know, just to, okay, it sounds good, we're good, you know. And if not, then Wave of Terror hits you. No, but not that, but that's just a joke. But I do the warm-ups. When we go on stage, usually I take a drink of water and I just do a couple of growls, maybe a couple like, and then, you know, that's just my warm-up, I guess, if you will. And, you know, I don't smoke. That I'm sure that helps in some way. And, you know, you practice what you practice. And, you know, I don't practice as much as maybe I should, you know, but I've been able to sustain this, I think, in big part because I just try not to overdo it. I sing the show and then I relax after the show and let the voice, you know, calm down and get ready for the next night.
what advice will you give to a band that is just starting out in the industry?
Don't give up. Believe in what you're doing. Practice hard. Improve on your instruments. If people are telling you, if people who aren't like metalheads or listening to the type of music you're playing, if they're not fans, I would listen to them less than I would anyone who's like, within a band. I mean, that doesn't mean that there aren't people outside of your, like my parents, they were always behind me. They supported me. They were, but they didn't understand the music I listened to. They didn't understand that at all. But they were always like, hey, don't give up on your dream. And that's what I would say. Don't give up on your dreams. Just work hard, practice hard, improve on your instruments, and, it'll work itself out. I wouldn't take no for an answer that I wasn't going to make it in a band. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes just time passes, things happen, members leave, members come and go, and, sometimes it's not meant to be, but I would say, don't give up. Don't ever give up. I mean, there might be a time when you might realize, okay, it's time to just be done. But I would definitely encourage everyone to just stay in the practice space, get better, improve on what you do, and just have fun too. I mean, come on, everyone starts a band because they love this music, and it's supposed to be fun, And if it becomes too much of a job, then it's hard. Then that makes it hard. So always have fun.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect, George. Thank you very much for your time. Would you like to say something to the people who are going to see this interview when it is published?
Yeah, just, well, thanks for the interview, number one. And to everyone watching, look out for the Corpsegrinder solo record coming February 25th, Perseverance Music Group. And thanks for the support from all the years in Cannibal Corpse and hopefully for this solo project. And hopefully somewhere down the line to see everybody on tour and the world just be back to normal. So just thanks for the support, really.
Thanks to you, George. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Take care.